What was the worst or least favorite haircut or hairstyle you ever got?
Number 9.
Number 9? Alright.
Yeah, number.
Isn't that really long?
Number 1.
Number 1, right? Okay. Nehemiah, what about you?
That's number 1, bro.
Jeremiah, you ever have a bad haircut?
Yeah.
Number 1. That's the worst haircut in the world.
Levante, what about you?
Yeah.
You used to have a bald head?
No.
No? Alright. Kyrie,
Number 1.
do you actually have one?
Before when I was little.
Okay. When?
When I was like 7 or 8.
When you 7 or
Okay,
8.
wait to see.
My shit was like that.
Sherry, what about you?
It's actually like 2.
Has everyone had that haircut?
I'm glad
Yeah,
you all boys think my baby get bald head.
Yeah.
Nah, that was that one time, and my mother told my grandfather to take me barber shop and went to get bald head.
Nah, mine happened.
This is like
because-
good shit.
Hey,
And it was bald, and it was cool. Bro.
At first I got a woman because my little cousin, right? His name's Ari. And I made him, I jazzed him because at first I was cutting him with the scissors. And I jazzed him. I said, we played against each other in football, you got another haircut on foot. So we used to be young, so we used to play, so he went with it, and we really was cutting each other head. So we was downstairs, all I know is his mother was like, Tommy Brown looks like his package in your head. I said, oh shit. He said, y'all was up there cutting each other fucking head. I started moving that time.
I
You get my show cut to a number 1.
don't you ever have a bad haircut?
Alright, so first, I had a bad hairstyle. This was on my birthday, y'all. My mother tried to do some little snakes in my head, y'all. They did that. Like those little braids.
Yeah.
But those ones were big.
Oh, like cornrows.
And then my first haircut was when my barber just curled my shit all the way back. I had it grow like.
She said my mom.
Somebody from first period said their barber made their hairline crooked. It started over here and then went up there.
Oh, it was that ew.
I'm not gonna say.
It had to be ill.
Alright. If you could, our last question. If you could become an expert in something in the STEM instantly, what would you be? What would it be? It could be any topic, any subject. Malachi.
Computer tech.
Computer tech? Alright.
No. Baseball.
Oh my god.
What do you say, baseball?
Baseball.
Okay.
Like, no, I ain't gonna say a baseball. I'm gonna say baseball.
Okay. Nehemiah? Salesman?
Salesman.
I want to be. I'm gonna say that's really nice.
Alright, you want to be cool. Jeremiah, what about you?
Shoe club.
What?
Shoe club.
Okay.
The shoe club.
Levante.
I went on the club.
The strip club. We got there.
You'd be an expert in anything. What would you pick? Guns?
What?
No. Alright. Pick something else.
God.
Beth? Okay. Kyrie. Skip. Gary.
Yeah, we asked so that we them junkies outside.
Alright. I don't.
Get ass straight dirt. Bro.
Hey, what time is it?
You'd be an expert
Hey,
in
what
anything
time
else.
is it?
I'm gonna show my man that shit done. I'm old heads being that shit.
Dirt day.
Get their ass
Oh, great.
What time is
It is 10.
it?
Alright. So today we're going to be talking about functions. We're going to be building on what we learned before Thanksgiving with these linear relationships, right, and then arithmetic sequences. So a function is a rule that relates how one quantity depends on another quantity. So an easy way to think about this is a vending machine, right? You go up to a vending machine in the cafeteria, you want a Fritos, bag of Fritos, and you gotta punch in the code. That's your input value, like E4 or whatever. You punch it in, and then you get Fritos is the output. Or if you want a Snickers, you punch in like H6, and then Snickers is the output, right? So So that's a function where you have an input and you have an output. Another thing, another real life version of a function is you have a job, right? A job depends on your input, which is your hours that you worked, and the output is the amount of money that you make. So if you work for 20 hours, you make a certain amount of money. Based on, if you work 32 hours, you make a certain amount of money. So the amount of money you make depends upon how many hours you work. So the hours is what we call an input, and the pay or your wage or your salary is what we call an output. So we're going to do this Desmos activity on the computer. So I want everyone to grab a laptop. I think everyone has to get laptops today because Ms. Scott, I think, locked up the tablets.
No laptop.
So grab
Now,
one
can I go to the
from
bathroom right now? So I can get wait, what's that? Wait, look. My laptop.
What phone is that, my nigga?
grab one from the card.
I wish we could play some band on these people, bro. Yeah, but they be dropping the, after the. And
Sure,
you
Mike, grab
know,
one.
they gonna make, you know when you become the full teacher, your name gonna be right here, Mr. E.
Yeah. Oh, that's a 3.
You gonna be like,
Maybe.
I'm right now.
All right, has everyone got one?
Can we do your stuff?
All right, log on, log on. You know how to log on. Put in your number, right?
I want
I
to
forgot my
do
number,
the virtual, bro.
I think like
You need,
Everybody cut the school down?
you need a charger, let me know.
I said I think.
Everybody cut the school down? Hey, so they cut
Oh,
the
it's a
school
new,
down, I'ma burn this fucking school down.
It is a new Corona or something on
Yeah, there's a new variant.
it? Yeah, that's.
It is?
Huh?
Soon we got a school, I'ma do bottle, like bottle, yeah, I'ma throw them in school. I'm burning everything down.
All right,
it's called Omicron.
log on to your computers. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
The very
I forgot my number, bro.
Forgot your
I'm
number.
gonna tell my brother, bring the rock.
Hey, y'all gonna go down for years.
Why you asking?
But it's like this little damn shit,
He know how you
he sound dumb as hell. Nigga, how you know, nigga? What?
That's a little bro.
All right, once you log on, go to that website. Go to this website on the top.
It's because you beat your brother.
Once you log on, go to that website, put in the code.
Yeah, I do, right?
You sound loud.
You really don't remember your number?
Oh, bro, why you looking like that?
All right, Nehemiah, you're in. Go to that website. Go to that website. I honestly don't even know where that page is. Like, sit up here. We're doing something on the front of the board. Everyone just stay in your seats, all right? All right, fine, sit there. All right, Lon, you're gonna go to that website that I circled up there. You wanna try to get to that website? You really forgot it?
Huh?
Why does computer look like that?
What'd you say?
Eagles win another game. I'm kind of on my head.
They got to play on niggas, they touch your head. I know it now,
He
too.
capping, so he just got hit and shit. He's capping, so he just got hit with
All right, good. I see Levante typing in that website. Thank you. I see Nehemiah going in. I know the computers are slow. Gary's in. I see Gary typing in the website.
30? Shit 30?
Yeah, bro.
3 up?
That nigga's dad around.
I know.
I see Levante putting in the code. Thank you. And Jeremiah.
That's the opposite.
I'm glad I'm not.
You don't need to log in this.
So we just got here and this shit is for cat.
Yeah, it's not even.
So we just got here and this shit.
Are you in, sir?
Yes, man.
It
I
said welcome.
yes,
Sign in
sir.
on Google, sign with that.
All right. And then when you get in, you hit sign in, continue without signing
We got
in.
here and this shit is for cat. So we just got
Good.
here.
And then put your name in.
I need my phone, bruh.
Well, they said that they gonna give it to y'all.
You need it or you want
What
it?
the fuck is a phone for it, bruh? You need to give it to us as
What's my name on it?
third period or something, bruh. Like, fuck is they on, bruh?
What's
Who want they phone at 4 period? It's the end of the day.
No, I want to know
Also,
what
Sean ain't get my phone to me.
Wow.
Jeremiah.
was just bald, bro.
Captain, so you just got here and this shit is for bruh.
I'm gonna turn it down.
Ain't gay as shit, bro. I want to see change, bro. Ain't this shit touch my.
Yeah.
Touch my drawers.
All right, let's go.
Touch my
I
ass.
don't want to see that so
What's
late.
up with my computer?
Hey, Mo, this computer is slow as hell.
All right.
Captain, so
No
we just
game
got
till
here and
later.
this shit is for bruh.
All right, we'll wait a few more minutes for the slow computers.
Bro, your
I was doing like,
keep on
look.
playing. What?
I think he on me.
Your picture is $25.
I can buy for $1.
Free money that.
See, I need my phone. Look, I need my phone to verify my Gmail.
Why do you get your Gmail?
But they just said enter your Gmail.
No, bro. Cowboys and shit. I signed for a third one.
Well, bruh, it's
All right.
this shit is cap.
So,
What? Come on, bro. What? What?
all right, Kyrie, let's go. You're in.
What? Everybody?
I know, I'm from shit in basketball.
And don't click through. We're going together.
But he like that.
It won't make sense if you click through.
Football, I cook with him. I'm from shit in football.
You still sick? You suck at football.
No, swear to God.
Swear to God.
The dude is mad, bro.
All right, Kyrie, we're waiting on you. Let's go.
So what I go
You're
to,
already
bro?
in.
Stop saying bro. You go to student day.
But
You was captain, so these things got here. Send for practice, so you got here.
you just lied, bro. God gonna kill you.
They ain't gonna kill me. You love me.
What?
Lied to me.
He ain't gonna. I don't know.
Bro.
What?
Look at me, man.
Yeah,
You always feel late. I don't know if both got the same thing. I know. One is. I know.
trying to change exact.
Trying to still talk later.
What?
Playing.
I'm not playing. I'm not loud.
Yeah, that Bob.
I'm not playing.
Okay.
I leave my car to go to the store.
Huh?
Which
All
one?
right, just enter your name.
Your shit.
All right, I think we're all in. Okay.
Your shit is
All right, are we listening? Idol's the only one listening. Let's go. Your screen should say, you should see this first slide.
Say one.
It says this machine uses a secret rule to turn an input into an output. So, press try it on your screen. There's a button that says try it and see what happens. to the number 15 when it goes through the machine.
Turn to 5. Hurry up, motion.
Let's go, sister.
See what happens. See what happens.
Now it's
So what happens here? What can rule? And then you're gonna see.
Man, what the fuck where's Scott at, man? You know where it is.
Just get a chance up and get out.
What are you doing?
I beat the shit out of my come down here.
No, fuck this
Come on, just come on, just come on. Oh yeah? You got that shit, bro. Hey, what the fuck is Scott at, though?
You a bitch.
Fuck my old teacher. You think you rush on? You think you're not taking her back, You think you want to sound bad? Take her back, nigga.
Bag you.
Alright. Just follow along. Alright, so 4 people said, what could the rule be? It goes from 15 to what, 5? So some people said, divide by 3. Some people said subtract by 10, right? These could both be the rules for this one. So, I want you to go to the...
Press next when I answer the question.
Yeah, I want you to go to slide number 2. So, now we're going to figure out what the rule is for sure. So, go to the next slide. It should say slide number 2.
You think you want some singers back?
So you're going to see under input, you can put in some different values, right? You can put in any number you want. So try putting in some different numbers, and then we're going to figure out really if the rule is divide by 3 or subtract 10. So you can put in any number you want. You can put it in 1, 10, 20, 100. See what happens. See what happens, and pay attention to what the rule is. What happens from input to output.
Is that my put 3? I can't put nothing on the output.
You put 3. What's up? Okay. So what could it be now? This is enough to tell you. 2 is enough to tell you, is it? Right? Can't be. It's 10 divided by 3. 3. Some guess. Good. Okay.
What's up, Mom?
Hi.
What's up, Mom?
I'm going to
slap
1, right? 1 the output? Ah, so what's it going to
Oh,
Alright, so we started with 15 and 5, right? We couldn't really tell if it was subtract by 10 or divide by 3, so we needed to try to put in some different numbers. Gary put in a good one, put in 10. So 10 and the output was 0. So is 10 divided by 3 0? No, right? So that can't be the rule. Is 10 subtracted by 10? Is that 0?
Yes.
Good. So I think everyone agrees that the rule is subtract by 10. Good. So now get the next one. It should be on slide number 3. I can see everyone on slide number 3. Good. So this is a new rule now. This is rule number 2. Your slide should say, rule number 2 allows any number you want as an input. Any number you want. So test out a couple. You can put in any number just like we did before. So try putting in 1, 5, 10, whatever. And see what happens.
I put 100, you said I put 7.
Okay? So try another number. Remember, we're trying to see what the rule is. So we need to put in a few numbers. Okay, so try another one.
I did one.
Try a couple, try a couple. Good, so try another one.
Oh, everything's separate.
Try another one, see what happens. At least try 3. I want you to try 3 numbers at least. I want you to try 3 numbers at least.
How's 10 billion 7?
Good, Gary put in a whole bunch. Idle putting a lot. That's good. Jeremiah putting a lot. All right. When you think you know the rule, go to slide number 4. So when you think you figured out the rule, go to the next slide. On slide 4, it should say, here are some of the inputs that we all put in together as a class.
Good.
So the question is, if you input 6, if you input the number 6, what do you think the output will be? Any-
I just break this guy. She was over at the end of the show. She was knocking the door. I looked at her and jumped off on her. And ain't nothing wrong with the door.
Everyone's-
Scott?
All right. So I want you to answer this question. If you input 6, what do you think the output will be?
8.
Based on this rule that we've been working on.
2.
Look at this. Look at the table. Look at the table.
7.
So put that down. And then answer the next question.
Y'all had it shit in this class. Y'all don't think
Good. So
y'all in
explain why you think the output is going to be what you think it is. Right, so based on the pattern sequence, we put number 6. What do you think we're gonna get?
Wait, Miss Scott told Miss D
There's
to
no
come
math,
out
right?
in 15 minutes.
This is the rule that we worked on in the last,
Everybody eat your phone?
Huh?
and this one too,
Yeah,
right?
but I got to record.
So if you put in 6, what do you think is going to
You gotta record.
Yeah.
Record day to
You
day.
put 6, right?
Yeah. Oh, y'all look good. I just made it. I just basically made it fuck up me.
Yeah. What do you think would come out on this side?
Makeup lesson.
All caps.
What's that?
Sounds like you're angry. Okay, so now go to the next slide.
Jesus.
Malachi, you want to sit down? Come on. You want to sit at your desk? All right, so I think everyone said 7, right? And we saw in the last slide, and we saw in this slide too, right? That no matter what number you put in, the output was always 7. Good. So now I want everyone to go to the next slide, slide number 5. And it should say rule 3. Rule 3. Rule 3. Let's go to the next one. Slide number 5, right? It says rule 3 allows single words as an input. So try out a couple, any word, right? And let's try to figure out this rule. Now this is going to be interesting because this is letters and not numbers. No. Appropriate words. Thank you, Levante.
Pussy equals Z.
No, Gary, not that. Let's try out simple words. See what happens. Put your name in, see what happens.
Hoe equals F.
Put in a couple and see if you can.
Oh, it's for my leg. It's for my leg.
Bitch equals I.
Good. So see if you can figure out what the rule is here. Put in a couple, see if you can figure out what's happening. And if you're stuck, let me know.
S equals T.
Sure, put in Cowboys. Put in football team.
Sex equals Y.
Sex equals Y.
Yeah, no Y.
Gary,
S
come on.
equals T. Bitch equals I. Hoe equals F.
Oh, that's the
Pussy
word
equals
for it,
F.
bro.
So they're typing in. Okay. All right. Can anyone? Does anyone have an idea?
Pussy equals Z.
Gary, stop with inappropriate words.
Oh, I see all that shit right there. Pussy, hoe, bitch.
Malachi.
Ah.
Lizzie, you gonna be quiet. Come on.
Oh, but I'm reading what Dave wrote though. It ain't my fault.
All right. So, can anyone figure out a pattern here?
Bitch ass niggas.
Anyone?
Pussy hoe bitch, pussy hoe bitch. I mean, all the words has got alphabet letters.
So, if you're stuck, try putting in a single letter. Try putting in A, see what happens. Try putting in B, see what happens.
Z is A.
So if you put in A, what do you get?
I said Z.
Oh, when I put in A, I got B.
When Kyrie put in A, he got B.
And when I put in B,
When you put in B, you got what?
C.
C.
Yeah,
So what do we
When I
think?
put a C, I got D.
So what do you think this rule is?
add one.
Oh, add one.
So the input is a letter, and then the output is what? The next letter in the alphabet, right? Good.
This one
So for this one, right? All the words that you put in, for example, look at the first one. It says hello. The last letter of hello is O. The next letter in the alphabet is P. That's the output. The last letter in idle is L. The next letter in the
That's
output
word and pussy is Y,
M.
and it's a Z.
Thank you, Gary, but that's inappropriate. The last letter in hey is Y. The next letter in the output would be Z. All right, so hit the next slide. Let's go on to slide 6. All right,
Good.
so you're gonna see a table, right? You're gonna see a table. You're gonna see a table on the right side of your screen. So I want you to guess, right? We know the rule now. We know the rule now. What is gonna be the output for these words on the right side of your screen? So the first one is friend. Right? What's the last letter of that word?
D.
D. So what's the next letter of the alphabet?
E.
E. So the E is the output, right? So now try that with the rest of them.
What comes after T?
U.
Comes after
B.
What's that?
Y, Z.
Good. Z, you're right. Good. All right. Looks like everyone is kind of getting it.
like a little bitch.
What's that T? What's that T?
Touch on you.
That's
What?
T.
What? What?
All right. Looks like everyone got it.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Good. How we feeling about this? Good?
Yeah.
Good.
Bad.
All right, so try to go to slide 7 now. This is rule 4. This is our last rule. Okay, so it should say, you want the pen?
Fact.
This slide says rule 4 allows for single letters as input.
They give you word.
All right? So try a couple, put in a couple letters,
Anthony.
put in a couple letters, see what happens.
I didn't give it people names.
Put in a couple letters, see what happens.
Oh, when I put A, that shit said ass.
John.
All right, good. Looks like we're putting a couple. What does everyone?
Hussein.
What does everyone notice? Lavante, what do you
And
notice?
these
about
names.
those?
Oh.
What happens when you put in a letter? What's the output?
Give me your name.
A name? What's special about the name though? Good. Did everyone hear what Al said?
Yes.
It starts with the letter that you put in. So if you put in, I don't put in D, and it came out with the word Devin, the name Devin. Nehemiah put in the word B, and it came out, or the letter B, and it came out with the word Brandon. Good. All right. So now go to the next screen.
This all we do once today?